to give a quick shout out to Daniel Suarez for not coming from a state because, you know, he's Mexican.
Lesson from the brain, seeing the beauty through the
YouTube. Today we're going to be doing a different type of video. We are going to be going over every single Daytona, all the 40 drivers that started the Daytona 500, grouping them into states, and we're going to pick the best one from each state and, you know, talk a little bit about it. If you guys do enjoy, make sure to like, hit the subscribe button, and before you get into it, if you don't hear a driver who has races here, like I said, it is the Daytona 500. This is based on the Daytona 500 entry list. I'm doing the hometown of every driver, or home state of every driver, and picking the best out of each state. If your state is not heard, that means a driver is not from your state. I think probably got about half the states represented here, a little under. So yeah, that's all I got. Let's go ahead and get right into the video. Coming out of the state of Ohio is Matt Tifft. As you probably have assumed, as it is Matt Tifft, he is the only driver coming from Ohio. And a funny story, I actually saw him in a video once, somebody talking about his Xfinity career, and I found myself failing to realize where he was until going through and making this list. Matt Tifft, you gotta do something better, bub. State of Iowa comes Landon Castle, as he's the only current Cup Series driver out of Iowa, and unlike Matt Tifft, I actually knew what car he drove. The state of Michigan is Brad Keselowski. He's had a pretty good season so far, looking like a championship contender, and we'll see how his season progresses. Also hailing out of the state of Michigan is Eric Jones. The state of Kansas is Clint Boyer, as he is the only driver there. He's definitely a great driver, but his ride next season is in question. I think as long as he's able to keep the sponsors he has right now, he should be able to remain in that 14 car. But if not, you could see him be replaced by Cole Custer, Christopher Bell, or someone else. State of Indiana, Ryan. Sorry, wrong Ryan. Here we go, right Ryan. I mean, not for me, but in the context that we're talking, the right Ryan. Ryan Newman from the state of Indiana. Again, he is the only one, but he still has been doing a really good job in that 6 car, really outperforming Ricky Stenhouse, and right outside that playoff cut line. I don't think he'll make it in there, but still better than I thought. The state of Texas is Chris Buescher. While he is the only one that comes from Texas, but he is definitely no slouch, as he has really outperformed that JTD Daugherty equipment. I know they got that little boost from Hendrick, but I'm going to be honest with you, I actually kind of expected Ryan Preece to kind of have the season that Chris Buescher is having. Not as good, but it kind of outperformed Chris Buescher. Chris Buescher has proved me wrong, and proved that honestly he deserves a better ride than that JTD is giving him. And if he can maybe get a win, I honestly would not be surprised if he could sneak into the top 12 if he can get into that round of 16 in the first place. Chris Buescher is really turning my head this year. From the state of Florida, Eric Almirola is the best driver. He's had a pretty good season. He's been on the edge of a couple wins, and won't be surprised if he goes out and gets him another one. Well, another career. I don't know what I'm saying, but he definitely has a lot of talent. Just hasn't been able to get the job done, much like a lot of drivers in today's NASCAR. But definitely a great driver. But Ross Chastain is also there, and if he gets his hands on some good equipment, he could very well challenge Eric for the title of the best driver out of Florida. The state of Alabama is Bubba Wallace, as he is the only one. He hasn't really improved. It seemed like the first race with that new sponsorship he did pretty good, but has not improved much, and I'm kind of scared for his future in the Cup Series. Kyle Busch is the best driver out of the state of Nevada. I don't think there's really any question here, as he's almost the best driver in the Cup Series right now. He is the best driver in the Cup Series right now. His brother Kurt Busch is not that far behind. He's a good driver, but cannot beat out the one-time NASCAR Monster Energy Cup Series champion. From the state of Connecticut is your reigning NASCAR Monster Energy Cup Series champion, Joey Logano. He's definitely had a great season so far. His performance at Michigan was just crazy. And he definitely is a championship contender, could go back-to-back. New Jersey, Martin Truex Jr. is looking like the biggest competition to that of Kyle Busch, with 4 wins this season, coming off a win at Sonoma. He's been pretty good. I mean, back last season he kind of faded at some point. Doesn't look like he's going to do that now, but you never know. He definitely had a better start than he did last season, and is definitely 100% a championship contender, and I'm definitely rooting for him. State of Virginia is Denny Hamlin. After 2 quick wins so far this season, he's kind of faded, but he hasn't been bad. Just a top 10, top 15 car, and yeah, I mean, he definitely could win a championship if he wants to, but not really a championship contender right now. We'll see if he's able to kind of turn it back around to where he had it at the beginning of the season. State of Wisconsin is Paul Menard. Now, Paul Menard, he's kind of a driver that, I mean, he's not so bad that I think, you know, Wood Brothers Racing should get rid of him. I mean, if they can find a better prospect, of course, get rid of him. But, you know, so long as they don't have one of those guys, you know, I don't think they should really get rid of him. He's just kind of there. He gets decent results, but he hasn't performed as well as Ryan Blaney did in that car. Maybe they should bring another driver to shake things up, but he's not a terrible driver. But I don't know. Obviously, the only reason he is in the Cup Series because of his sponsorship with Menard. So I don't know. I don't really hate the guy, but he's just kind of there. Also, if this was last season, Matt Kenseth would probably take this spot. Last state with only one driver is Mississippi. Ricky Stenhouse will take that title as, I mean, he's the only one there, but he's actually done pretty good this season if he could just learn to salvage a finish. He's really probably had a lot more top 10s than he has right now, but he just doesn't seem to be able to settle for what he has, especially in the equipment that he's in right now. He just needs to get every finish that he can. No need to ruffle that many feathers. And, you know, just do your thing. You know, I think at some point he might win a race that's not a super speedway, but he's just got to calm down. And he had a really good shot there at Kansas. He had a really good car there. But, yeah, I don't think he's a bad driver. A lot of people just say he likes to wreck people. I think he's a little over-aggressive, but I think he's still a talented driver. And I don't know if he should get better equipment, but he definitely deserves to be in the Cup Series. State of California, Kevin Harvick will take the crown. While he has yet to get a win yet this season, he still is a championship contender. If he can just break through and get a win, I think he could definitely go on a streak. Had a great season, historic season last year, and definitely a weird sight to see him not winning. And he's definitely been close, had fast cars at pretty much every track. Just hasn't been able to get the job done. Also from California, Matty Benedetto, Jimmy Johnson, Kyle Larson, and Tyler Reddick. The state of Arizona is Alex Bowman, a driver who has definitely been on a hot streak here as of recent. Honestly, if this video would have been made before Talladega, I would have picked Bowman, but it might have been actually kind of close between him and McDowell. But ever since Talladega, he flipped his switch, and if not for a power steering failure at Sonoma, he very likely would have kept his top 10 streak alive. And this dude, he's got talent. He's definitely proved that to at least me. I know a lot of people hate on him for no reason, but to me, he's proved that he deserves to be in that 88 car, and hopefully he's able to find a sponsor for next season, and hopefully he's able to go out there and win some races. Best driver out of the state of North Carolina. NASCAR's kind of, I don't know, pipeline for drivers. There are a lot of drivers here, but Ryan Blaney, as you can see, has taken the top spot here. I mean, Blaney, he's definitely, I'm not saying he's done bad in the 12 car, but hindsight's always 20/20 as well. I low-key feel like in the 21 car, he's kind of performed better in the 12. Like I said, hindsight's 20/20, but Blaney has a lot of talent. I mean, him and Chase Elliott are two very talented drivers. They're going to get wins. Won't be surprised if Blaney gets a championship at some point. He's still young. He has plenty of time. And it's just unfortunate he hasn't been able to go out there and get a win. He's been close to getting some wins at times, but the sky's the limit for Blaney. But other drivers coming out of North Carolina, William Byron, Austin Dillon, Ty Dillon, Daniel Hemrick, Corey LaJoie, all from the state of North Carolina.